Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Morgue. My name is Mal, and today on The Morgue, we have a very, very special guest. We have my beautiful, amazing, show-stopping, just phenomenal mother here today. Y'all can call her Mama Mel. Say hi, Mama Mel.
Hey, y'all.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. I was nervous earlier, but now I'm in the moment.
Yes, we're in the moment. I told you just kind of go with the flow, you know?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the movie. And today we were talking about The Devil's Rejects. Doo-doo-doo. How do you feel about The Devil's Rejects? I know that you have been a fan of it for a long time.
Yes, I have.
Okay, and after rewatching it for the first time in a long time, how do you feel overall?
Honestly,
Just be honest.
I feel kind of bad for liking it for so long. I don't know, maybe with age, it just,
It kind of changes your outlook on it a little bit.
Yes.
But do you still enjoy it?
But I do enjoy it because it's a story.
Yes.
It's just a story.
It's just a story. It's just entertainment.
Yes.
That's it.
And I love basically all the actors and actresses that's in this. I don't have anything against any of them. Now the characters,
are very questionable at times,
Yes.
for sure. But the actors, they all play the hell out of it. Like, no question about it. Whenever you're watching it, it really does feel like you're in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's very believable.
Yes.
But anyways, before we get completely started, I just want to remind everyone, around first week of November, we have our subscriptions. We're going to be doing them at $3.99, and those will be available on Spotify as well as on patreon.com. And so jumping into this, The Devil's Rejects is a 2005 horror movie written and directed by Rob Zombie himself. This, of course, was the sequel to 2003's House of a Thousand Corpses, which we covered last week, if you want to go check out that episode. When Zombie was working on House of a Thousand Corpses, he said that he had a vague idea for a story about the brother of the sheriff that the Firefly clan killed coming back for revenge. Lionsgate asked him to come back for another movie since they made back all of their money plus some on House of a Thousand Corpses. So Zombie started working hard on a new story. And he said that he wanted it to be like more horrific, and he wanted the characters to be less cartoonish than in Corpses, which I wholeheartedly agree that he did a great job of doing that. It was a lot less hee hee ha ha sort of, and more like I'm gonna fuck you up sort of thing.
Yes. The first one, I hated it.
And that makes me sad because I love the first one.
I always hated the first one because it was just, it wasn't believable. It's that, you said that cartoonish thing.
Yes.
But this one, it's a story. It's a just a story.
It seems more believable.
Yes. Definitely.
It definitely seems more believable. With the story going on, with the motel sequence, I'm going to call it. The whole motel sequence. That could happen. You know what I'm saying? Crazy people could come up and basically abduct you and take you to your own motel room and mess you up.
Yes.
That could completely happen.
I think that's why I always was a fan of this movie, because it was more believable. Like it could happen. Something could happen.
For me, the first one was more of a more twisted Texas Chainsaw, sort of, in a way, without the chainsaw. Dr. Satan's basically the chainsaw, I'll just say that. But, I love the Texas Chainsaw. You know that. I have loved the original Texas Chainsaw for a really, really, really long time. And so I think that's why I like that one more, because it's like a house of horrors.
Yes.
But then there's this one, and it's more or less... I don't want to say like true crime-ish, but like I said, that realistic sort of thing.
But you're right.
And it does feel kind of true crime-ish because it has like the newscasts and stuff going on.
Yes.
And like it's very, as Rob Zombie put it, he wanted it to be kind of like a Western as well, with like that sheriff going after those criminals and stuff and just trying to get that vigilante justice on them and everything. And it was so well executed. And so I didn't find much on anything about any type of production issues, so yay for them. But I did see where Sherry Moon Zombie said that she does not see this as a sequel, more like something of the characters from corpses came over and now they're the Devil's Reject sort of thing, which I can totally see because there are some things that, I don't know, it's no longer there in a way. I don't know. Just comparing them from the first movie to the second movie, like, yeah, they're the same characters, but I don't know. There's something that's just different about them.
I can, like I say, I'm not a fan of the first one, so I can just ignore that part.
Right.
I like it.
No, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that's bad by any means. I'm just saying that it's just different. Yeah, they're the same characters, but there's something different. Like, it's kind of like an alternate reality sort of thing.
Right.
This is like an alternate reality. And so The Devil's Rejects stars Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, Bill Moseley as Otis Driftwood, Sherry Moon Zombie as Baby Firefly, William Forsythe as Sheriff John Quincy Wydell, which, if you guys don't know, he was on Rob Zombie's Halloween, and he played Ronnie, the mom's boyfriend. And every time I see this man on screen, all I can think is, with that part, like, in the morning whenever he's like, all it does is cry and shit, wah, wah. Like, that's all I can see. He was an asshole.
He was an asshole. He was mean to the kids.
He was so mean.
Yes.
He played the hell out of that part.
Yes, he did. And he's one of my favorite actors.
He's a really good actor.
Yes, he is.
He was very believable in this role as the sheriff. Like, you could tell that he was seeing red. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, spoiler alert, this whole episode's gonna have spoilers in it. Whenever Mother tells him, like, I killed your brother, you can just see. He sees red. He is blacked out completely. And from then on, he's like he's like a Terminator. You know? Yeah. He's basically like a T-1000. He knows his fucking mission, and he's gonna fuck some people up.
I'm telling you, he's a great actor.
Absolutely. Very, very believable. Again, this whole cast, very believable. We have Ken Foree as Charlie Allamont, Leslie Easterbrook as Mother Firefly, and my mom's favorite, Michael Berryman as Cleavon.
I love Michael Berryman. I do. I totally love him because I remember him as being a kid. You know, I'm old, and me being a kid and watching some of the horror movies, and he was in a lot of the B movies, but he looked so scary, and it wasn't makeup. This man looked scary.
Yes.
But now I have so much respect for him because he had a disease. I'm not going to even pretend like I can pronounce the disease.
It's something dysplasia. That's all I know. That's all I can pronounce.
Yes, but they don't have hair. They don't have fingernails. But it allows him. He was able to use
his advantage.
Yes, and make a lot of money. That's his career.
Yes.
You know, I would love to meet him.
Oh, girl, me too.
I would be like, I don't even know. I would be starstruck.
Oh, same. Absolutely same. And so after going through the MPAA 8 times, that's a lot of times, to earn an R rating, The Devil's Rejects opened in the U.S. on July 22nd, 2005, on a budget of $7 million, just like the first one, I believe. It had an opening weekend box office of 7.06, so just barely making their money back million. and a gross worldwide of 20.9 million. Not bad, not bad. And it had a runtime of 1 hour and 47 minutes, or an hour and 7 minutes. And IMDb gave it a score of 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 55% tomato meter and 78% audience score. And Letterboxd gave it a 3.3 out of 5, which I agree with all of those. Honestly, I agree with all of those.
I do too.
On Letterboxd, I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. For the first one, I did give it a 4 out of 5 because it deserved that 4. So we're going to get started. We open with some evidence photos. And the narrator tells us basically what's going to happen within the first 15 minutes of the movie, that the sheriff is leading a search and destroy mission at the Firefly farm. Okay. And we flip over, and disgustingly, it's a nude dead woman who is being dragged by Tiny, and he's dragging her through the woods. And I just want to say, I feel so bad for Tiny. I really do. And I know that he's an awful person for dragging that nude dead body, but like, I feel like he's just, his family is all that he knows, and he's just doing what he's told. You know what I'm saying?
I feel bad for Tiny.
I feel so bad for him.
He's pitiful.
Very pitiful. I just want to give him a hug, even though he's scary looking.
I don't know if I want to hug him, but
I would give him a hug.
I mean, he's just doing what he knows.
Exactly. He's doing exactly what he knows, and it makes me sad for him. And so then he sees in the distance that police are driving up the road to the farm. And we get a close-up on his face. And you said, whenever we were watching this, that he looked like Freddy Krueger. Which I could agree. I could agree.
Totally does.
Like, that burn makeup, I don't know if it was a mask that they put on him, just prosthetics. I have no idea. Fire. It looked just like Freddy Krueger. And so then we get a wide shot of the farm, and it's big and scary, and it looks hella different from the first movie. And of course, that's because they could no longer film at Universal. So since Lionsgate bought the movie, so they had to film somewhere else. And so anyways, inside, Otis is sleeping with a dead woman. Nasty. He is nasty. I'm going to keep that from the first one. He is nasty.
Yes. That threw me. That threw me right there. I remember, and I was just like, I mean, you know, that's something that...
It throws you for a loop.
Yes.
And he looks a little bit different from the first movie. He has a full beard now instead of like the goat hair. And he has grayish hair. It's still long and nasty. And he still, like I said, still looks disgusting. He needs to take a freaking bath. And then there's Baby. She's laid up. She's looking fresh as hell, and may I say it, fine as hell.
Well, her cute ass.
She's very cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yes, her laugh is really annoying. I'll say that. It is very annoying. But she cute. She cute. She fine to be an older woman. And she's also asleep. Okay, she laid up asleep. And then there's Mother. She's also looking fresh, and she is passed out as well. Clearly, it's early in the morning. And the cops, they come outside. They're outside the farm. And two of them are talking. One of them is the sheriff. It's the new Sheriff Wydell, okay? And one of them asks him, like, are we going to die today? And the sheriff replies,
"Dying's not an option. Now you stick that back in that gray matter of yours and you make that stick. Because any other thought's going to get you cold slab, toe tagged, and mailed home to your mom in a plastic bag. Are we, Crystal?"
Okay, dying ain't an option. Sure, Sheriff. The sheriff uses a loudspeaker to tell the family inside that they're there and they need to come out with their hands in the air. Just go ahead and surrender. But the family wakes up and they prepare for war. It's like they were expecting this all along. And they grab their guns and ammo and shields and they get into position. And there's this kind of funny part where Mother is talking to Baby and she says, "I keep thinking about old times. Like when you were a fucking baby." Like, why would you be thinking about that right now, lady?
And on top of that, she says fucking baby.
Yes.
Like,
not when you were a baby, when you were a fucking baby.
Fucking baby. That's
like, what?
Right.
What? I don't understand. And like, but also, you're about to like fight for your life. Why are you thinking about when this child was a child?
Because she's crazy.
She is crazy.
That whole family is crazy.
Just be buck wilding out there.
Yes.
And so the shootout begins, and in my notes I said, shit is buck wild. And a couple of the officers end up getting shot. So they throw tear gas into the house. And the cops go in, but the family was prepared. Some of them have masks. And unfortunately, a couple more cops get got. They get pippity popped. And the sheriff ends up murking RJ. R.I.P. He gets shot all to hell. Okay? And so then mother comes out because, of course, that's her child. I can understand that coming out. You know what your fate is going to be anyways, but you're going to come out because that's your child dying out on the ground.
Yes.
And Baby and Otis are like, we're going to dip the hell out the back door. Understandable. I would do the same. I'm so sorry. I would have to dip. I would dip. I'm so sorry. We crazy people. I got to dip. I got to make sure I'm good. Like, sorry, not sorry. I would hope that if I got caught, you would run. Please.
No.
Be selfish.
I wouldn't leave you.
No, be selfish. It's not like if we're in prison together that we're going to be able to communicate or anything. They'll probably put us in separate prisons.
That's... I don't know.
And so the sheriff tells mother not to move, and she tries to off herself via gunshot wound to the head, but unfortunately for her, there are no bullets, and so she gets her ass arrested. And the opening credits start. Baby and Otis are going through the basement, which have women held captive down there. Damn.
And that's something that... I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I remember watching it when I first watched it back whenever it first came out. And I didn't actually I didn't notice. I had my eyes on Otis and Baby. And then I see these arms. They're reaching out, and
yes.
And then it's showing. And then I realized, wait a minute, they have on cheerleading costumes.
They be stealing cheerleaders.
Cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it showed in the
first one, cheerleaders.
Yes.
Yep. They have a thing for cheerleaders, I guess. Because that had to have been different cheerleaders. Because I'm pretty sure the narrator at the beginning said that it took place in 1978. And the first one took place in 1977. So I would assume that they got more cheerleaders. And then later on, the sheriff mentions one of the cheerleaders and she was dead. So I don't know. Anyways, they go through the sewer and they go out to the road, and we get hella ass crack from Baby yet again.
Yes.
Hella ass crack. And they're up there wading in this nasty ass water. You know it smells like shit. And then Baby goes up and lies on the road, and an unsuspecting server woman drives up, and she gets out the car to check on Baby, but big yikes, Otis comes up and murks her from behind, and they end up stealing her car. Damn, Daniel, like, that is so savage. Imagine you just driving your little car, you're trying to go to work, you see someone on the road, you're trying to be a good Samaritan, you get out, because it's 1978 and nobody is suspecting.
That's why my ass don't stop for nobody.
I don't stop for anybody.
No.
I don't stop for anybody. No. I'm so sorry.
Because Baby was laying up there looking like an angel.
Right.
That's
laid up on the road.
Maybe that was part of why I like this movie, because she's so pretty in this movie. She's got that trashy...
She has a trashy look to her,
but she's pretty.
Yes.
Yeah. She's just very pretty.
She's pretty to look at. It's just... she's very eye-catching.
I guess compared to the rest of that trash.
Compared to the rest of them, for sure. Yes. And so, while all that was happening... the song Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers is playing. And that's the one that's, I got one more silver dollar.
I love that. I love that song.
That's a great song, and I just want to mention that the music choice in this whole movie, fire. Another good reason to like this movie.
Yes, another good reason. Yes.
And we flip back over to the house, and the cops they're just searching everywhere. And a newscaster tells us that this is the most horrific crime scene that the cops have ever seen. And we get this nasty shot of like decomposing bodies and shit. And in the basement, one cop uncovers a book that has photos of Spaulding in it. And so over at Spaulding's, he's dreaming about doing the dirty with this retired porn star that you informed me that she was. But he wakes up with a not so great looking woman in bed with him. And she wants
so filthy.
She wants some lovin'. But Spaulding says that his is still sore from the night before.
And he said something about ass banging.
Yes.
They're so nasty.
That's so nasty. I put it in here because you said this last night. I don't know who is more trashy, him or her.
Right, because they both were just filthy.
Just filthy.
Yes. Yes.
Ugh. And so they're both sitting there watching this commercial on the television, and it's Spaulding's commercial. And it gets interrupted by a newscast, and they're talking about the raid that just happened. But then Spaulding gets a phone call from Baby, and she tells him what happened, that he needs to get the hell out of there. And he's like, go to the Kahiki Motel, and I'll meet you there. And so he's getting ready to take off, and the woman is like begging him to stay, calling him Poopy. And she's like, please, Poopy, stay, Poopy. And he gets in the car, and he's like, leave me alone, woman.
He's mean. He was mean as hell to her.
He straight up faces her. Like, you know, like whenever you like do like the face bump, literally, that's what he did. And like pushed her out the way, and then like floored it, dust going everywhere. She throws her shoe. Like, I don't know who's trashier.
Ooh, I know they need a bath. Filthy.
Yes. And why did he have that makeup on so early in the morning, too? Like, it was early as hell.
Maybe.
Wait, did he wake up with the makeup on? Because I know that he had the makeup on whenever he left. But I cannot recall if he had it on whenever he woke up. Is she into clown shit?
Maybe that's his thing.
Well, I mean, I would think that would be her thing too.
As
to be fucked
horrible and filthy as she was,
she
don't have much of a choice.
She's probably into it.
She was filthy. Oh.
And so over at Charlie's whore home, this is not a whore house, it's a whore home, okay? We get introduced to Charlie and Cleavon. And basically this whole scene is Charlie telling his best worker, Candy, which is played by the same person who plays Tommy Pickles on the Rugrats and Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls, tells her that she needs to make more money. And then Charlie gets a phone call and answers with,
Wong's Hong Kong Gardens, Mr. Wong speaking.
And I thought that was so
Cut the
funny.
shit.
Cut the shit, Charlie.
Yes.
But it's Spaulding telling him that he's heading that way and that he has trouble. And Charlie tells him not to come. He's like, don't bring that shit over here. But Spaulding's like, I'm coming now. And then just drops the phone and leaves and dips. And so he's on his way. We flip over to a motel and a singing group, Sullivan and Banjo, which is the dumbest name I've ever heard in my life.
They were goofy.
They were goofy as hell. And the group is made up of Roy and Gloria Sullivan, Wendy and Adam Banjo, and their roadie, Jimmy. And they're unloading their stuff into their room. And some of them are outside making fun of Gloria because, poor girl, the night before, they were out at a bar and she got on a mechanical bull and there was a nip slip in her tube top. But also, I just have to say, she's kind of an older woman. Why is she wearing a tube top? Because it was the 70s and everyone wore a tube top, even if you're like in your 60s?
She wasn't in her 60s.
She looks like she was in her 60s.
No, I think she was, I mean, she might have been, I think she
was at least like 55. Question, at your age right now, would you wear a tube top?
No.
Even if you were like a stick like her, if you had a body like her, would you wear a tube top?
No.
Out to a bar to ride a mechanical bull?
Maybe if I had...
I would not. I would wear a tank top. I would wear like a tank top or something, but not a tube top. All I can see is her wearing like a bright green tube top.
I don't know. I mean, if I was skinny and... I don't know.
I would not wear a tube top. Anyways, she has her little nip slip, and it sucks to be her, of course. And at one point, Gloria's own husband makes the comment,
"You had one titty going this way and one titty going that way. It's pretty amazing."
I would slap the hell out of this man. If that's my husband up there talking about my titties just to everybody, excuse the hell out of me. It's funny to say in private, but no, you take up for me. Be like, y'all need to stop talking about that, you know?
Definitely.
Take up for me. Don't laugh at me. And then Gloria asks Roy to go get her some ice from the machine, so he and Jimmy leave. Back in the car, Baby and Otis hear on the radio that their names, along with Spaulding's, are being broadcasted to everyone. And Baby hops out the car, and in my opinion, this little interaction right here is very sibling-like. It goes like this. She says, "I'm gonna go get us a room." And he says, "Hurry the fuck up." And she says, "Fuck you." And he says, "Fuck you back." And she slams the door. For some reason, I just feel like scenes like this kind of humanize them. You know what I'm saying? Sibling arguments. Like, even though it's terrible what she's about to do, and he knows what she's about to do, it's still very sibling-esque in my opinion. Anyways, Roy and Jimmy are walking and chatting, and Jimmy is telling Roy about how he wants to be a rodeo clown because this makes no sense to me. Dogs like him, and horses are like big dogs, you know?
He's so goofy. It's funny.
That is some of the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my entire life. Oh yeah, like horses are like big dogs. What the hell are you talking about? And so then Jimmy ends up going to the gas station to grab some snacky snacks, and Jimmy is like real nutty, and for some reason I just don't like his vibes, because at one point he tells Roy, he's like, "I could have went with that something down in like the Midwest or something." Like, you being ungrateful for being a roadie, sir? Like, don't you get paid
You didn't
for that?
like him?
No, for some reason I did not like him, but I did like his Cheap Trick shirt. I like that shirt.
I just thought he was stupid.
He was a nutty nut. And so Roy is now at the ice machine, and Baby's up there meowing at him and asks if he has a lighter, and she starts to flirt with him a little bit.
Yes, y'all heard right. Meowing.
Yes, she was meowing. Yes. She starts flirting with him and says,
I bet all the girls want to fuck you.
And then he asks her to repeat it, so she does. And then he's like, "Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?" And she says,
"Trust me, fella, that ain't the only thing I do with this mouth."
God, and he makes her repeat that as well. It's like, sir, are you this thirsty?
Yes, he was thirsty.
God.
He was thirsty, and she was standing up there being cute.
God. And so in the room, Wendy is taking a shower, and Gloria and Adam are watching TV. And then back outside, Baby asks if he's gonna take her back to his room to play with her. Uh-huh. And he says that his wife is in there. And then she says, "Or is my brother gonna have to shoot your teeth out of your head?" Yikes, Roy. What did you get yourself into? That's what you get for being a little horny prick. That's what you get. And Otis comes up and grabs Roy from behind, and he leads them to the group's room. They bust in that bitch and basically take control of everyone. They have everyone at gunpoint. And the most random thing happens. Baby ends up commenting on a nice jacket that's on the TV.
It was Buck Owens.
How the hell am I supposed to know that?
Oh, well, he was on Hee Haw, but...
Hee Haw.
Yeah, but it was... She said, damn, look at that jacket.
Damn, look at that jacket. And he's like, what? She's like, on TV. And it was like sparkling and shit.
Yeah, it was a nice jacket.
But then Otis tells her to pay attention. And he's like, who's in the shower? Because he could hear a shower going, who's in the shower? And Adam wants to act all macho man and is like, that's my wife. That's my wife. That's my purse. I don't know you. He's like, that's my wife. But then Otis takes control and is like pointing a gun at him and is like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Which, like, sir, he has a gun. Why did you even stand up in the first place? My God. And so Otis then busts into the bathroom and yanks the naked Wendy out the bathroom and puts her on the bed with the others. But then, of course, Jimmy's duck ass knocks on the door and Baby opens the door and pulls him inside. Otis then very, very quickly, within like 0.2 seconds, makes this man get on his knees. And before Jimmy can finish saying, Roy, help, he is shot point blank in the forehead. And the group's screaming. And Adam pukes all over Wendy.
Why am I laughing about this?
Because it's funny, because this man literally just projectile vomits everywhere.
All over his wife.
All over his naked wife who was just in the shower. Sir, the least you could have done was aim towards the side of the bed or something. And Baby's like, y'all need to shut the hell up. And so back with Spaulding, his truck has now ran out of gas. Which you made the comment last night. How you gonna be on this criminal shit and you ain't got no gas?
Yes, but I guess they're just so damn nutty they don't think ahead.
But he owns a gas station. Wouldn't you think that he would fill up damn near every day?
Like I said, they're all nutty as hell. They don't think ahead.
True. True. So he walks up to this mother and son, and they're about to get in the car. And the mother is played by PJ Souls. If you've seen the OG Halloween, she played Linda, See Anything You Like, Vanderclock. And she's also in the OG Carrie as the I always have to wear my red hat Norma. So anyways, he approaches them and he says that he has some super secret clown business that he needs to attend to, and he needs to apprehend their vehicle. The mom thinks that it's a joke, and Spaulding gets hella serious, and we get the great line of,
I stutter, bitch.
If I would have seen that man, the way he looked is gross, his teeth, I would have been trying to hurry up and get in the car. I wouldn't even thought it was a joke.
I wouldn't have talked to him or nothing.
No.
But the thing about it, okay, so like I rewatched it to write these notes, and he literally like walks up behind her. Like he's like 2 inches away as soon as she turns around. The little kid literally says, "Look, Mom, a clown." And she's like, "Oh, ha, ha, a clown." And he like touches her. He's like, "Hey."
Yeah.
So like
he shocks her.
Yes.
She don't have time.
I still would have been like, "Oh hell no."
Right.
No. So at this point, the mom gets hella serious and tells her son to get in the car and lock the door. And he literally grabs her, okay? She like goes to like walk around the other side of the car to get in. Spaulding grabs her and says to never turn your back on a clown when they're talking to you, which is very scary, and then knocks her the hell out. Literally, it's like, you got knocked the fuck out by a clown. And so then he gets into the car and asks the little boy if he likes clowns. And the little boy's up there crying. He shakes his head no. And then he asks, don't they make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny? Which, that line delivery was 10 out of 10. Like, I had to giggle right there. It's such a serious moment, but it's, aren't we fucking funny? Like...
And he's in the little boy's
up there
face.
I feel so bad for him. And so then he tells him to he best come up with an answer because he's going to come back there and check on him and his mama. And if he doesn't have a reason as to why he doesn't like clowns, he's going to kill his whole family. Like, yikes. Thank you for traumatizing this poor child, Spaulding. I thought you were better than this. The kid hops out and Spaulding bounces. And back in the room, Shit is getting weird. Baby is dancing in front of the group, singing, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these.
Over and
over and over.
over.
And it's really annoying. I wish she would have only done it like once or twice. That's excessive.
Honestly, I wanted to punch her in the mouth.
Yes.
It was getting on my nerves. But she's crazy. They're nuts.
They're crazy. And then Roy is sitting up there watching her like a horny creep. And Otis asks if he likes what he sees. And Roy says no. And Otis is like, well, what are you? Because there's a hot piece of ass in front of you. And you're not getting any ideas. And Roy says, I'm a married man. And so Otis makes Gloria get up. And Adam begs him to stop. And Otis tells him,
boy, the next word that comes out of your mouth better be some brilliant fucking Mark Twain shit. Because it's definitely getting chiseled on your tombstone.
Which I don't know why that also made me laugh. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just great line delivery. Anyways, Otis makes her stand up and takes off her clothes, or else someone else is going to die. And so she strips down to her bra and panties.
This part bothers me.
Yes.
Especially this time that I've watched now.
I'm not going to get deep into this scene because it does make me uncomfy.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is he assaults her. And this part makes her kiss him. Oh, that. And then she has to go down on him. And all I have to say is, you know, he smells like swamp ass and blood and sweat and smegma and rotten eggs, and he's just disgusting. No, ma'am, she is a stronger one than me, because whenever me and my mom were watching this, I literally said I would be puking on him. Like, he would hate me because I would literally be projectile vomiting everywhere.
I have to give her that. She was a strong one.
Yes. Because
she was taking one for the team. And that's a very disturbing.
I did not like it.
No.
And so then Otis ends up taking the dudes to go run an errand, and the girlies stay back at the room with Baby. At the police station, Mother is being interrogated by the sheriff, and they give her some scrapbooks that her and her family made, and she asks to show him something, and she pulls out some pictures, and lo and behold, Sheriff Wydell's brother was the other Sheriff Wydell that she proudly proclaims that she blew his brains out. But actually, from watching that movie last week, she did not blow his brains out. She shot him in the neck. So she needs to get her fucking facts straight. She ends up getting pimp slapped.
Oh, yeah.
He pimp slaps the shit out of her. But, like, this was before police brutality, so, like, that was kind of allowed. And honestly, she kind of deserved it. And Wydell chokes her out and basically says, I'm going to kill your entire family. I'm killing every single family member you have. And before he is able to completely strangle her to death, he's pulled off by the other cops, and she tells him,
Go! Get on the sheriff! Go! Get your ghost!
She's up there just screaming, acting crazy.
She's a nut, too.
She is nutty. And she's yelling, we'll get ya! We'll get ya!
Wow.
And the actress playing her, Leslie Easterbrook, she played the hell out of that part.
Yeah.
That was believable that she was up there wildin'. Her brain is like scrambled eggs, okay? Like, damn. Her brain is literally fucking scrambled eggs. The way that she was up there, crazy.
Crazy. Didn't care.
Like, I know it's bad to, like, call people crazy, but no, that bitch was crazy. Back with Otis, Roy and Adam, they're driving through the desert, and he makes them get out and walk. And at one point, Otis is talking about Wendy, and he straight up asks Adam if she enjoys it when he pukes, if that's their thing. That's so nasty, but for some reason. it's so random and out of pocket. Like, it's just, the way that he's just like, oh yeah, puking, like, is that y'all's thing, or does she enjoy that? Is that your thing or something? Like, it's so gross.
It is, but it's so funny.
It really is. Maybe we just have a sick sense of humor. I don't know. And so Otis ends up explaining that they're going to dig up some guns that he buried out there. And after that, that's the end of the road. And so Roy gets bothered, and he's like, are you gonna kill us, mister? And him and Adam both say that they did what he said. And Otis says that, first of all, he didn't say anything. And second of all, he calls the fucking shots. Well, one thing ends up leading to another, and Adam grabs, it's like this branch, right? He grabs this big ass branch, like a limb, like a tree limb that looks like a 2x4. He grabs it off the ground and he attacks Otis from behind, and Otis ends up dropping the gun. And as Adam is beating the shit out of Otis, he yells for Roy to grab the gun. And Otis is a strong motherfucker because he ends up kicking Adam. Like, this is after being like hit probably like 3 or 4 times with this big ass like log. And he kicks Adam. He goes flying back. And then he goes for Roy. And Adam ends up getting back up, grabs the big ass log, and tries to strangle Otis from behind. But Otis, he's always thinking, he has a knife in his leg sheath, and he grabs it and stabs Adam in the leg. And that is a big bitch. That knife was huge. And you know it went like all the way through damn near.
And then Adam pulled it back out.
Yes, he was a badass. That adrenaline was going.
Yes.
I'm giving it to Adam. He fought like a motherfucker up in there. Because, damn. And so he pulls out the knife. And right as he's about to attack Otis, Otis grabs the hand that Roy has the gun in. And basically forces Roy to shoot his best friend in the neck. And Roy then gets pistol whipped. And Otis walks up to Adam, grabs the knife that he was holding, and Adam begs him to stop. But Otis says,
"Stop? Bitch, I have just started."
Iconic. And Roy is stunned on the ground. And like, I don't know why this motherfucker did not get up to help his friend. He was awake. He was conscious. He was still alive. This whole time that Otis is over there taunting Adam, why did he not get up to try to fight back? Roy's a little bitch. I'm going to say it. Roy's a bitch.
Maybe he was in shock.
Roy's a bitch. And Otis makes Roy pray to God. And Otis acts like he can feel the wrath of God coming down on him. And then all goes silent until he gets right up in, like, almost into his face. And he says,
"I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work."
Which was a modified line from another Manson family member, Tex Watson. And then he kind of beats Roy to death with the tree branch log thing. And back over in the room, Baby's watching TV. And she's also watching Wendy and Gloria, of course. And Wendy asks if she can go piss, girl. And Baby basically says, you need to slap the hell out of Gloria and then come over here and kiss me on the cheek and say, thanks, baby, I'm having a really great time. And so after 3 slaps, because I'm sorry, we were talking about this last night. Let me and you ever get in a situation like this, you better slap the shit out of me. And Baby even said, no love taps. I wanna hear it. Don't do no fucking love tap.
Slap the shit, yes.
Slap the shit out of me, please. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to have to just keep doing this repeat shit. Slap me. Like, I can handle it. I ain't gonna break. That always, in movies, that just always pisses me off.
Yes.
Because there was another movie. Was it Bodies, Bodies, Bodies? It was a movie that, like, I had turned on and, like, you were in the room, but you really didn't watch all of it. The one with Pete Davidson, whenever he, like, his neck and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So there's one part at the beginning whenever they're taking the shots to, like, play the game or whatever, and they have to slap each other. And, like, the new girl, she, like, kind of, like, gives the love tap. And they're like, no, you need to slap the shit out of her. And so she actually puts some power into it and slaps the shit out of her. I'm like, do it. You see everyone else doing it, just do it.
All right.
So anyways, Wendy ends up going to the bathroom and she proceeds to do the dumbest thing ever. And she starts to flip the hell out, making hella noise, knocking shit over.
Oh, loud and shit.
Yes. Like, why are you being so loud? Baby stands up. And she's like telling Wendy, like, you need to open up the fucking door. And then Gloria holds Baby at gunpoint. And Gloria tells Wendy to come out. But Baby's holding the big ass knife behind her back and ends up throwing it into Gloria's heart. Damn, Daniel. But then Baby walks up to her, pulls down her pants, and is like, yeah, shoot me right in the ass. Do it. But there were no bullets in the gun the entire time. It was all mind power. And then Wendy comes out to see if Gloria's dying on the floor, and she books it. And she ends up running right into Captain Spaulding's arms. And Baby yells, Daddy, grab that bitch! And he knocks her the fuck out. Imagine that. You were almost out. You were that close to getting out. And of course, the one person that you run into is the father of the people that are pursuing you. Oh, that's some bad luck.
Yes.
That is hell. That is nightmare. That is bad luck. And so then there's this scene at the police station where they're analyzing some scrapbooks, and one of the officers tells Wydell that the name Captain Spaulding is from a Groucho Marx movie. So Wydell makes him bring down a movie critic named Marty Walker so they can talk down at the station. The critic comes, and honestly, this whole scene, in my opinion, is very useless, except for the part where the critic talks shit on Elvis. And Wydell is like, he grabs him and he's like, you ever say another derogatory word about Elvis Aaron Presley in my presence again, I will kick the living shit out of you. And I'm like, this man will do anything for the king. We see you.
Yes.
We see the dedication. He's a Elvis stan. We see it. He'll do anything for the king. And so back at the room, Wendy's been tied up, and Spaulding done cleaned off all of his clown makeup, and Baby's watching TV. Otis busts in, donning a new mask, a skin mask made from the wannabe hero Adam. And Spaulding and Otis kind of get into it for a minute, but Baby interjects and says that they got to get the fuck out of there, but what are they going to do with Wendy? Otis says that he has an idea and walks over to her and tries to put the skin mask on.
Oh, that makes me want to.
It's so gross. But this part also pisses me off.
Yeah.
Wendy's not a good character. I'm just going to say it right now. Wendy is not a good character. She's the dumbest one, and she could have been the luckiest one. So listen to this. The next morning, the maid is doing her duties, and she goes into the room, and she sees that it's a mess. She ends up going to the bathroom, where all of the bodies are piled up. And the words, the devil's rejects, is written in blood on the wall, and like 666, and like it's very demonic, you know. And poor Wendy is hanging on like the bathroom door by a hook on her shirt, and she's wearing Adam's skin mask on her face, and the maid is flipping out, but luckily, Wendy's able to get down off the hook, okay? And this is where I really start questioning her actions. Like, I understand that she has been through something very, very, very traumatic. But girlfriend, she does not take the skin mask off, first of all, okay? Nor does she ever just stop fucking screaming.
I think she completely had a nervous breakdown. The shit she went through.
But okay, so in my notes, I say that I am a level-headed person, and I feel like in that situation, even though I went through something super, super traumatic and I might be going through a mental breakdown, she has had the entire night to come up with a plan for when the maid was going to be coming in the morning, okay? You know at a motel the maid's going to be there in the morning, so you know that you have an out, right? And her plan was just to scream and flail around? I don't understand. Like,
I think she had a nervous breakdown from all that shit that happened, and plus, I'm sorry, I have this thing about skin.
That's gross. That's so
That is
gross.
and is somebody putting freaking skin on me? That right there, I might just lose my marbles forever, never again to be sane. You know, so maybe that's what it was. She just
lost it.
Yes.
My girlfriend, get a better plan.
Bless.
And so the maid gets up. She runs out of the room, and Wendy does the same. She's up there running, flailing her arms around, skin mask still on and everything. And she ends up not being the lucky one when she roams out to the freaking street and gets smashed to pieces by an 18-wheeler. Very similar to the hitchhiker in the OG Texas Chainsaw. Very homage. But damn, she could have been the lucky one. Damn. And so the cops arrive to the scene, and they try talking to the maid, but she doesn't speak English. She only speaks Spanish. Luckily, Wydell does speak Spanish, and he's able to ask if she recognizes the family. She says no, and then another cop comes up and tells Wydell that some men are there to see him. And he walks over, and one of the men is Danny Trejo. We love Danny Trejo.
Yes.
Machete. He was in... I know him from Spy Kids. Any of my, millennials, early Gen Zers, Spy Kids. I love Danny Trejo. Anyways, he basically... Wydell basically asked them to find the family for him. He just pays them some money. Hey, I need you to find these people. Okay. And so on the road, Otis, Baby, and Spaulding are on their road trip to Charlie's. And this is one of the moments that kind of humanize them. It's very funny. And like I said, it humanizes them. It makes you kind of like feel for them in a way. Because again, it's like you can see your own family kind of doing this, kind of having this interaction. Because Baby asks for ice cream. Minus the killing. Out of context. Completely out of context.
Yeah.
Baby asks for ice cream, and Otis says no. But Spaulding says, 2 fucking seconds for the kids? Is that gonna kill you? And clearly it is. Otis says that he's calculated the trip, and that 2 seconds is too long. And Spaulding says that he's gonna get tutti fucking fruity, and we get the simultaneous tutti fucking fruity.
Tutti fucking fruity.
Shut up.
Tutti fucking fruity. Tutti fucking fruity.
Shut up.
Tutti fucking fruity.
And I remember being little before I've ever seen this movie, and you and Daddy it would be at like the most random times. We'd probably be talking about ice cream or something, and he would be like, tutti fucking fruity, and then y'all would say it like back and forth to each other, and me and Monica would be like, what?
Oh my God, you're making me feel bad.
No, like that's not a big deal. It's not like I was like a toddler or anything. I was just like, like 10, 11, tutti fucking fruity, whatever. And so Otis says that there's no ice cream in their future. But lo and behold, we cut to them having ice cream. And Baby tells Otis to have some and puts a little ice cream mark on his nose. And it, like I said, it's very humanizing. You could see something like that, like going on a road trip, right? And the kids asking for McDonald's. We want McDonald's. We want McDonald's. And they're just annoying the parents so much that the parents eventually just pull over and get the McDonald's.
Yes.
And so then Wydell goes over to the Firefly house. And we learn that this is a dream because his dead brother is there. And the other Wydell tells him to basically avenge him, kill the rest of the family. And Wydell wakes up from the dream, and the phone rings. It's Danny Trejo. And he gives Wydell the name of Charlie and tells him that he has a partner who calls himself the Captain. All right, bet. And so in Mother's cell, Wydell comes in and tells the deputy to take the night off, that he's going to watch the prisoner for the night. He talks a good game to Mother, basically saying that he's horny for her, but he likes it slow and sensual and shit. And he stands her up and then proceeds to stibbity stab her in the gut. until she dies on the floor.
As he was saying, I like it nice and slow. And he was cutting her.
He was cutting her. He was cutting the shit out of her. Nice and slow. He watched the life like drain from her eyes. Like I said, from that point, whenever he figured out that they killed his brother,
yes,
all he saw was red. That's it. And I don't blame him. And so the group arrives to Charlie's, and he comes out, and he's talking some put your hands up, and he's acting like he's getting ready to shoot everyone. But then the gun that he has is actually a squirt gun. Love that for him, having a good time. And Charlie meets Baby and then asks Otis if he's still an asshole, and Otis flips him off. And I'm sorry, the little like grin that he did whenever he was flipping him off was goofy as hell. He introduces Casey and Candy, and those are two of the workers there. And we see that Candy is wearing her Princess Leia space buttons. In the beginning, whenever they were talking, she mentioned that she wanted to try out the spacey stuff. That all men want to fuck Princess Leia.
And Cleavon
said, I'd fuck her. And she's like, thank you. And so they all go inside and they celebrate being in safety, I guess. They're getting fucked up. And it's intercut with Wydell talking to himself in the mirror. And there's this part where he says, you're just a regular fucking killer. And all I can see is Ronnie in Rob Zombie's Halloween whenever he's talking to Michael and he's like something about being a killer. He's like, oh, you're just a fucking killer. It was like after they found the cat in his locker and stuff. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, you're just a fucking killer. Like that's all I see right there. And it's really weird. And so the next day, Charlie and Cleavon, they gonna go buy some chickens. And we get literally the funniest part in the movie. The chicken man is discussing the chickens, telling them what kind he has. And Charlie says that he wants 2 of the Rhode Island Reds. And the chicken man asks, are y'all gonna fuck these chickens? And he makes some nasty ass comments about, this is nasty, y'all.
Where
Trigger
they go.
Warning. He talks about cutting the heads off and doing unspeakable shit, okay? And Charlie asks if he looks like a chicken fucker. And the chicken man says,
I ain't calling you chicken fucker, but boy over there looks sexually frustrated, and I don't approve of chicken fuck.
But he was just saying that he's thought about it and knows how to do it.
And he was talking about Cleavon.
And he was talking about poor Cleavon. And Cleavon, he straight up gets pissed off. He is offended.
I ain't no chicken fucker boss.
I ain't no chicken fucker boss.
I mean, he got red.
Very adamant that he was not a chicken fucker. And then Charlie tells Cleavon, get the chickens. And Cleavon says, he's a chicken fucker. And like, that's like as he's getting in the car. And he calls him an inbred as they're driving off. He's like, you inbred, you inbred. And so before they can get very far, Wydell cuts them off. And Charlie walks up to him, and Wydell basically tells him to make sure that the family's ready for them for him at midnight. And if he doesn't, he will shoot him. And he calls Cleavon that ugly motherfucker over there. And I felt so bad for Cleavon. I felt so bad for him. Don't threaten Cleavon like that. He ain't got shit to do with that, okay? He just works for him, damn it. And so that night at Charlie's, Spalding and Charlie are getting a little litty motherfucking titty together, and they basically discuss the pimp business for a little bit. And Charlie gets up to leave, and he is sure to grab that tray of Coke to take with him. And we get a shot of this coffee table. I gotta talk to you about this coffee table because I don't know if you noticed it. So the coffee table is made of flat stones, right? And it's put together, and it has that gold flecking in the middle, and it looks just like the one that your mom had. It literally is a big coffee table version of that rock stone table.
Really?
Yes, it's the exact same one. Because I had to pause it real quick so I could type it up.
I wish I had those tables.
Oh man, I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, that's a whole coffee table version. Y'all, this coffee table, if you get the chance to watch this movie, right as Charlie's walking away with his tray of Coke, like pause it and you'll see the coffee table. So pretty. I had to tell you
You
about
know,
that.
she had the coffee table.
Did she really?
She had the coffee table and 2 end tables.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know that. I knew that about the end tables. I never knew
Yes.
about the coffee table.
Yes.
That's crazy. And so everyone is chilling, partying, fucking, whatever. And it seems like a very chill night. But then at one point, a woman who's talking to Baby goes to grab a beer, and Danny Trejo gets her from behind, slitting her throat. Big yikes. She didn't have nothing to do with that. That's messed up. Otis, he's getting it on with Candy, and Danny's friend interrupts and ends up shooting Candy in the head. She had nothing to do with this. I feel bad for her.
Being whores, they...
Yeah, I guess. Danny gets Baby out the tub. She was in the tub. And Danny gets her out, and she's butt-ass naked. And it's intercut with Otis being thrown through a window. Okay? And so Wydell then walks up, and walks up on Spaulding getting stoned next to the coffee table. And he takes a shot, and Spaulding thinks that it's Charlie. So he gets up, and Wydell says, "I've been looking for you, clown." And Spaulding says that if he's going to kill him, he better make sure he's dead, because he will come back and make him his bitch. Mic drop. But then, before he can say anything else, Wydell straight up just shoots Spaulding. He's just like, bang! Like, just one shot him. And outside, Otis is getting his ass beat, while Charlie just stands there and watches as they're getting taken away. Like, you may not get this reference, but et tu, Brute? Like, really? Really? They load everyone into the sheriff's vehicle, and he drives them back to the Firefly house. Inside, they have been tied up to some chairs, and Wydell basically wants to torture them for the next few hours. And he has this wannabe hero monologue and blah, blah, blah. And he grabs some photographs of some missing people. And the first one, Valerie, he says that after they pulled her out, trigger warning, this is gross, she wasn't very fuckable anymore. But then Otis says, huh, yes, she is. Like a nasty motherfucker.
Oh.
That is nasty, sir.
Nasty bastard.
Sir. And he explains that he cut her tongue out and tied her to the bed for a month. Big yikes. And Wydell staple guns the photo to Otis's chest, which just the sound of that.
It was one of them commercial staple guns, too.
Them staples were huge.
It wasn't one of those from school.
No, it was not a stapler. That was a staple gun.
Yes.
That's one of those that, like, heavy duty.
That you use, like, in the walls.
Yes. Like whenever you're like doing carpet, those carpet staples,
Yeah.
Those are some thick bitches. And so he then mentions Mary Knowles, which was Mary from the first one. And Baby says, that bitch is mine, which we all know this because we witnessed her being stabbed to death while wearing a bunny costume from Baby. Like, and so he then staple guns her photo to Baby. And then Wydell holds up a photo of his brother. And he tells them that he is the reason they're going to die tonight. And Spaulding says that he remembers his brother and that he was a stupid fuck just like him. But then he's up there talking mad shit, and Wydell comes up and pokes Spaulding with a cattle prod a few times, which, ouch. Whew. And he's like, I hate fucking clowns, and proceeds to beat Spaulding over the head with the cattle prod. And Wydell then reveals that he killed Mother. And Baby is saying, like, she's, like, denying it. And in this moment a little bit, we get another sort of humanizing moment when she's, like, being all upset and, like, being in denial and stuff that her parent is dead. As someone that's lost a parent, I can understand that denial of it right there. But then, anyway, she's still crazy. I still don't feel bad
Nutty
for
as
her.
a fruitcake.
And so Wydell's taking his time torturing them, and he makes sure Otis can't get away because he hammers nails into his hands through the wooden chair. Ooh, let's just take a moment for Otis's poor hands.
And I'm laughing. That's terrible. Oh, but he was a monster.
He was a monster, but damn those hands. You know that bitch hurt. And so at this point, Wydell unties Baby and tells her, "You're free. Run." And so she books it as he's pouring gasoline all over the house and he sets the house on fire. Wydell goes after Baby, and it's kind of reminiscent of when she went after Mary in the first one. And he even yells at one point,
"Smells like rabbit!"
In the first one, Otis was like, "Run, rabbit, run, rabbit." And it's very reminiscent. And so Baby's running like a motherfucker trying to hide. But then Charlie finds her and is like, "I'm gonna save you." He wants to redeem himself now. Okay?
Right.
Bitch. He's a bitch. Charlie's a bitch.
He is a bitch.
And so he says that they need to get her to safety somewhere. And so inside, Otis wakes up and he tells Spaulding to wake the hell up. Charlie gets Baby into the car, but Wydell comes over and axes Charlie to death. The motherfucker kind of deserved it.
Charlie.
By
Right, because
Charlie.
he played his friends.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to redeem himself in the end, but damn. Baby gets out of the car and tells her to run. And he's like,
"Run, baby girl, run! 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 Run, run, run!"
And Wydell ends up shooting Baby in the leg. And she tries to crawl away. But then this part hurts me. He finds a leather strap and starts to whip her with the leather strap. That hurts my soul. And she says, "Fuck you." And he says, "Fuck me? No, fuck you." Then goes to choke her out. She's like about to die. But then, y'all forgot about this motherfucker. Tiny comes up. And he is there to the rescue. He pulls Wydell off and bada bing, bada boom, breaks his neck. Wydell is dead.
That made me sad.
That did make me sad. He should have gotten his vigilante justice.
Yes, because that sucks.
It really does. And so Tiny gets Baby up, and Tiny, Baby tells Tiny to go get Otis and Spaulding. He does what he's told. Even though the building is on fire, and that's how he got scarred in the first place. And this is another point. He's just he's doing what he's told.
It makes me feel sorry for him because he don't know no better.
Exactly. He literally does not know any better. And so we love Tiny's loyalty. I wish we all had someone like that in our lives, you know? And so they all make it out alive. And they take Charlie's convertible to bounce. And Tiny says, stays. And Otis says that they'll come back for him. But I think deep down, Tiny kind of knew that this was the end for the family. So he proceeds to walk into the burning building as the convertible drives away. And then the building explodes.
And it's like the flames didn't even bother him.
No, not at all. He just walked right in. Poor guy. I feel so bad. R.I.P. to
R.I.P. Tiny.
So now we get the longest scene ever. The entirety of Freebird plays while this is happening. And the group have made it to the road. It's daytime. It seems like they've gotten away. And it's intercut with what looks to be family footage of them. And again, it's very humanizing. They look very happy. You know, they look even though they're dirty, they look like your normal kind of trailer trashy family, you know? And let me see. Otis ends up stopping the car, and we see that there's this police roadblock in front of them. And he gives the family their guns. He's like, "Hey, y'all need to wake the hell up. We got to fight again." And they prepare for war again. And everyone props themselves up. Otis floors it. And it ends in this big ass shootout. Everyone just being shot. Bang, 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 bang. And it's a bittersweet ending. And yes, I'm going to say it, that this is the ending. They die right here because 3 from Hell should have never been made. At all. Okay? And before I conclude all of this, I just want to mention this part right here. I did tear up a little bit at the end because first of all, the song is really sad. Okay, Freebird, in my opinion, like the slow parts of it, like the speed up part, fine. The slow parts of it, if you listen to the lyrics, it is kind of sad. And there's a lot of close-up shots of Sid Haig, and I think he's a great actor, right? And unfortunately, if you guys don't know, he did pass away in 2019. And it makes me really sad that, like, you know, we can't experience more of his talent. And so I want to give a little moment to showcase him. He has been in about 150 productions. He's made a lot of movies. He's won 7 awards for his work, including 3 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards for Best Supporting Actor in House of a Thousand Corpses, and the Best Actor and Best Villain in The Devil's Rejects. And it also includes a Scream Award for the Most Vile Villain. And this movie, like Three from Hell, I mean, is not the same without his presence in the movie, because I've seen it a couple of times. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
I don't like it. I don't like it. They get out of prison and stuff, and it tries to continue the story. But, like, at the very beginning, they kill off Captain Spaulding because, of course, like, Sid Haig was really sick whenever the production started happening. And so he wasn't able to act on it very much. So they had to make his character come to an end. And that upset me because whenever the movie came out, he had already passed away.
Again, like I said in the very beginning, I liked all of the actors, you feel me?
Me too.
So that was one reason I was invested, I guess, a little bit in it. Mm-hmm. But I just realized that it was just...
It's wild.
Yes.
Yes, the whole thing is wild. But yeah, R.I.P. Sid Haig. Like he was a real one. R.I.P. to the real one.
Rest in love.
Yeah, R.I.L. And so, like I said, the family gets shot to death, and we roll the credits, and that was The Devil's Rejects. And so you said you're looking at it from a different perspective now.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch it again ever?
Probably not.
Probably not. Damn.
And before, I had watched it more than 10 times.
You watched it more than me. This is maybe like...
Because I would watch it with your daddy.
Right.
And now that I watched it, it's just like... It's just... I guess as you get older, reality sets in.
Yeah.
And it's just...
I can understand that because, like, going back and watching movies that I haven't seen in a long time, or... it's been movies that I haven't had to look deeper into, because like doing a podcast on movies isn't just watching a movie. It's analyzing the whole entire thing in its entirety and having to talk about the details. So you're having to like actively watch the fuck out of this movie. And as I've gotten older, there are things that I see in movies that I didn't see before, or like scenarios that like I think about and I'm like, oh shit, like that is actually really scary, or like something that makes my stomach turn that never did make my stomach turn in the past.
Right.
So like I totally get what you're saying, but girl, I love horror way too much. Like I can't stop. I can't stop. And so this has been, like I said, The Devil's Rejects. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this. Did you have fun of being here?
Yeah, of course.
Yay, I'm glad.
I sure did.
Do you want to come back?
Yes. If I can do, should I say the one I want?
You can do it. Which one?
I want to do the original Poltergeist.
We can do that.
That's my shit right
I love
there.
Poltergeist. I like the first one. The next two are kind of, I've seen the other two, but the first one, yes. We can definitely do the first one.
I know every word. Your daddy used to trip out because I could sit there and recite everything. Yes, that movie was one of my first scary movies.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that so much.
So I'll come back.
So okay, I have another one that I want you to be on. What? That I know that you're gonna love.
What?
The Others from 2001.
Nicole Kidman. Girl, that's my movie.
Yes, I remember being little watching that because it's not slasher. It's very much mystery. What's going on? What's going on in this big house? Is it haunted?
And it's British.
And it's British. And it's just very, like, ominous.
Oh, that's
the whole
my movie.
So ominous.
I've watched that movie.
I've seen
later,
it a lot.
you know,
yes.
yeah.
And it's one of those
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for sure we're gonna have
definitely.
So y'all. Okay. So Poltergeist, the others. I got you. You're gonna be back. You're gonna be back for sure.
Yes,
okay.
I'll be back. I enjoyed tonight.
Yay! Well, before you guys click off of this, I just want to remind everyone about our subscriptions. They're going to be coming around the first week of November. And then also, y'all, these next few weeks, it's basically Halloween. It's October. It's spooky season. And so we have some amazing things planned. And plus, there's a Friday the 13th this month. It's a perfect month. Y'all, be prepared.
I love it.
All I have to say is just be prepared. And we are going to have a very, very special episode on Halloween. I know we usually post on Wednesdays, but Halloween falls on Tuesday. That's close enough. Y'all just wait. Just watch out. But I hope y'all have an amazing day, morning, night, whatever. And I will see you next week. Bye.